On March 9, 1839, when Britain intervened and got the Mexican president to agree to pay. That would have been way more interesting if someone just stole a whole bunch of croissants and two countries went at it. And more tasty. On February 6, 1840, the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi allowed the British to legally occupy New Zealand, which wasn't exactly favored by the local tribes. The British began to take over more control and moved the capital from Waitangi in the Bay of Islands south to Auckland. This was upsetting to the Maori tribe, which had signed a deal to ensure their independence. As the region lost out on huge revenues because of the move, they built up support for a rebellion against the British. And on July 8, 1844, supporters cut down the flagstaff that flew the Union Jack on Maikai Hill in Kororaka. But it did not take long for the British to put up a new pole and flag. So they went and cut it down again. In 6 months, the pole was cut down and put back up 3 times. Having enough, on March 11, 1845, the 600 armed Maori stormed the city and fought the British, who were outnumbered but eventually won. The Battle of New Orleans was the biggest battle of the War of 1812 between the US and the British. British forces had made their way down to Louisiana with hopes of taking New Orleans. On January 8, 1815, they marched on the city, but Major General Andrew Jackson had set up a strong defensive that was 3 lines deep and 4 miles long. The fighting lasted until January 16th, and it was one of the war's bloodiest battles, but amazingly, the Americans won, with only 100 casualties compared to the 2,000 British who were killed. Only one small problem. The battle was completely unnecessary. That's because when the fighting started, the war was already over. Earlier, on December 24th, 1814, a peace treaty between the US and the UK was signed in Ghent, Belgium, effectively ending the war. But see, 200 years ago, news didn't travel like it does now, and it took weeks for the news to reach North America and the troops. Damn technology, you scary! In 1958, Iceland claimed that they had exclusive fishing rights 12 miles off their coast. Sounds fair enough, except the British weren't happy about it because this was 4 miles more than Iceland had before. But instead of dealing with the issue with long, boring policy meetings, things got pretty fishy. Like, literally. Like a scene from the Three Stooges, the captains from both sides started throwing live cod at each other. At one point, Icelandic patrol boats tried to board the British ships, but they chased them off with axes and hammers. Iceland even tried to blast a British fishing boat out of the water, but was chased away by a gang of British naval ships. By the end of it, Iceland had 6 Navy ships and Coast Guard vessels up against the force of the British Royal Navy. It took all the way up until 1976 for the British, after being internationally mocked and losing tons of money on military expenses, that they decided to quit and let Iceland keep their water. Yeah, the British love their fish, do they? It's not really worth it now, is it? No. The Kettle War took place in the Netherlands in 1784 and is considered to be the most humiliating war of all time. At that time, the Netherlands was split into 2 territories, the Northern Netherlands and the Austrian Netherlands, backed by the Roman Empire. Since the late 1500s, the Northern Netherlands had blocked trade ships from using the Scheldt River to access Austria-controlled Belgium. But on October 8, 1784, the Roman Emperor Joseph II decided to send 3 ships, including his prized merchant ship Le Louis, up the river, figuring it was about time that the Dutch just let them use it. No one ever thought that the Dutch would even notice, but oh boy, they were wrong. With tensions running high, a Dutch warship fired a single shot at Le Louis, and it hit a kettle of soup. This alone caused the army to surrender. The emperor tried to save face by declaring war on October 30th, but no one took him seriously. I'm pretty sure this is where the phrase "pick your battles" came from. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this. As always, I would very much appreciate it if you left a like on it if you enjoyed this video, and of course subscribe if you haven't yet. Don't forget, I'm going to have a brand new video for you tomorrow at 12 West Coast time, 3 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you come back to my channel then. Have a great day. I'll see you then. There have been many things that militaries have done that have been considered mistakes in the past, but some were bigger